Seoul Station and Train to Busan were two of the absolute best zombie movies made in the last decade. With those films, Sang Ho Yan told two very different tales, but managed to make both of them compelling, exciting, and fresh takes on the zombie genre. Is it possible Sang Ho Yan could go for the trifecta with Train to Busan presents Peninsula? Let's find out. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, remember to give this video a like, share with your buddies across the electronic superhighway, click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. Please get the word out to new folks so we can make this channel bigger and better. 4 years after the initial zombie outbreak in South Korea, North and South Korea have been quarantined off from the rest of the world. An ex-Korean soldier named Jung Sok, played by Dong Won Gang, survived the initial outbreak and now lives as an outcast in Hong Kong, as the locals believe the Korean refugees are carriers of the plague. Jung Seok joins a crew of smugglers who are assigned to enter the quarantine zone and retrieve a large amount of money from a truck in the dead city. The heist will give them a massive payoff and hope for a new beginning. But first they have to survive the peninsula, which has been overrun by the undead, and the survivors that have somehow endured the plague and live in a Mad Max-style community that tosses survivors into a pit of the infected as sport. Jung Seok passed by Min Jung, played by Jung Hyun Lee, who was pregnant and carrying her young daughter on his way to the boat to escape at the beginning, leaving Min Jung and her daughter to fend for themselves. Now years later, Jung Seok happens upon Min Jung and her daughters after being separated from the heist crew and teams up with them in order to race to the pickup point with the money in tow. But with some of the survivors getting wind of the pickup, it's a mad dash to get there before more people find out about it and bring the infected barreling after them. Did you get all that? That's the thing with these Train to Busan films. The plot is quite simple: survive. But Sang Ho Yan makes things complicated by injecting them with complex human interactions and interrelations. This being a heist film, there is a clear directive: get to the drop-off point and get to safety. That's pretty straightforward, just as Train to Busan had a sole destination of getting to Busan, which equals safety. What makes it fun are the hurdles that present themselves by way of complex human interreactions, intricately placed dominoes made of human error and selfishness, and of course, the zombies. Sang Ho Yan delivers a narrative that is indicative of all of the best heist films. Get in and get out alive. In this, he delivers the direct path narrative reminiscent of Mad Max Fury Road that pares down all side journeys and detours. This feels like a lean and mean action film that simply tosses the viewer into this thorny situation and then tries to rip you out with little care for the damage it causes. This is the most action-centric of the BUSAN trilogy, and those who love high doses of adrenaline and cool chase sequences are going to find this one a crowd pleaser. Peninsula is not as emotionally gripping as its predecessors. Seoul Station and Train to Busan had a complex relationship between father and daughter as its emotional core. Peninsula does not. There are some very strong relationships at play in this film, but none as developed or poignant as the previous films. Peninsula centers on Jung Seok's remorse for losing his family in the opening moments, and then passing by Min Jung's family when he had the chance to save them. These are powerful feelings, and those are powerful moments, but they still don't resonate as centrally as Seoul Station and Train to Busan did. Because of this, I can see where Peninsula would be looked at as the inferior of the three films, as it simply doesn't resonate on an emotional level as the two films prior. Peninsula is much more of an action-centric film, but lacks the emotional power that sets Seoul Station and Train to Busan apart from all of the rest of the zombie films that have cluttered the genre for so long. Still, Peninsula is a fun and edge-of-your-seat type of film, Dongwon Gang channels his inner John Wick as Jung Seok by taking down zombies and rogue survivors in single headshots. The driving sequences are slick and bawdy, like something out of a Fast and Furious film. Two Train to Busan, if you will. While it might not be that emotional gut punch Train to Busan was, it still is a fantastic film that sets filmmaker Sang-ho Yeon apart from his contemporaries, and I could see him crossing over into a broader film range, possibly taking a shot at a Hollywood horror or actioner, if he wanted to. I understand the criticism Peninsula has received, as it simply doesn't match the simple plot structure and emotional impact that made Train to Busan such an international success. But that doesn't make Peninsula any less of a film. It's just a different film, and looking back on this trilogy, it shows the broad range that Sang-ho Yeon possesses. Whatever he does next, be it another film set in this zombie-infested world, or something set apart from it, I'm there and can't wait for it. That'll be it for today. If you like this video, please pound that thumbs up button. Share this video with your social media addicted pals. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on mlmillerwrites.com. Don't forget the new trade paperback for my new horror comic book series, GRAVETRANCERS. It's out in all of the finer comic shops on September 2nd. And be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for alerts to be the first to see my future videos. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside that